uh, as you were saying, there's not just one aspect to this technique that will give you the technique, which I always hoped was the case. But you're right, it's more holistic than that.
For sure.
Right? So you have to incorporate all of the different aspects, and it comes together to provide you the technique. And so, with that said, can you back up just a little bit so that, because for whatever reason, what looks right before, yeah, okay, that's, and so, yeah, I like the drapes. I think it was Dick Wilson who used to say, yeah, I'd like to get some like big, thick theater, red velvet theater drapes, you know, to calm the sound down. He liked that. So how's it coming along? We had you working on singles because that has been an issue for you. Can you move your stand just a little bit? It is kind of a, you're set so nice, and then the stand is just.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What about like this? Is that better?
Yeah, that's great. So I want you to be able to see it, though. That's really important.
Yeah.
So, but it created almost like a division between us, I was feeling. So you've been working on playing singles because you have concerns about your left.
Yes.
So how's that?
And yeah, it was good. It's a long way for sure. But yeah, I've been basically playing the quarter notes up to 740 BPMs, and really paying attention on when I'm landing the stick, not to kind of move it. So and the stroke at the same position in a consistent way. At the same time, not really opening my fingers when the stick is going up. So kind of try to keep it close to my palm. But that's not to saying that I'm forcing it, so I try not to do that. And also in terms of positioning, so keeping my elbows close to my chest, so not to do this, kind of do that here. So those were the things I was paying attention to.
Well, that's good. To really honor all of the different pieces and then maintain a focus so that you're constantly cycling through the different aspects that you just mentioned as you're practicing, right? Now, you did mention I'm keeping my arms to my side, to my chest. Be careful of the language you use tells me a lot about how you're thinking, and it's important that you don't. So
yeah, I'm not saying that French.
Hanging. So, but the word keeping might not be the right word, right? Because we're just allowing the arms to do what they would do naturally. So, cool. Well, put the metronome on at 40, and let's take a listen.
Let's do it.
I should cue you when it's time to modulate, because I just wanted to spend a minute In some ways, certain things, it might be just as difficult to play slowly, right? And so just to take the time to meditate, because it's playing slowly that really gives you time to take it all in, right? So now we are we have to decide, first of all, how high we're going to come up.
You told me to come quite high.
And that's fine, you see? But we have to maintain that height. Now, the other thing is, see, you're not really at the floor.
I am.
Well, maybe, but when you watch this back, show me where you're going to decide the floor is, because sometimes you're right, started to wander up. It's cool. I know. We really have to focus at this point until it just becomes it'll become built in. But one of the most important aspects, and there we go again, because like you said, they're all important, but there are some kind of key aspects, cornerstone concepts that have to be maintained. The floor. It's like where we start. If you're building a house, you have to have the floor, or the walls are never going to be sound. Okay? So show me where the floor is.
Okay.
That's where you decide the floor is. Okay. Now, can you maintain that? Go ahead, play at 40 and see if you can maintain that. Now, what if we were to play more quiet? You play more quietly? Yeah, see, you're not doing anything but holding the stick. Just laying in my hand.
Yeah.
Right. First finger and thumb, firm, comfortable, and constant. So now we have the two aspects. We have the floor, and we have the grip. Now, if we were to bring that up. Okay. Even though I bring it up, I want to maintain coming back to the floor. It's the right weighting. Show me stay at the floor. Up, the right came up. Just right there. That's where it stays. Keep going, it's good. Okay. What are no triplets? Why don't you come back down in volume? Come back. We'll create a new chart for you this week. Come back down so that you're playing or pianissimo. Not
here.
Not much has changed, has it?
No.
You're just holding the stick. Keep laying in the hand. Now you're coming up, okay? Okay, but we're playing eighth note according to triplets. Oh, stay down, nice and low. Let's experience that. One and a two and a 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 two. And see, in actuality, I don't even need to turn to the ceiling, do I? Yeah, I'm just turning from parallel. I'm not even lifting to the ceiling. Gotta have the floor, though. You have to have your floor, so you're always turning from the same place. Don't turn to the ceiling. No. Okay, stop. This is cool. Okay, so you have a bunch of it, but you're not familiar with this idea, really, of turning from parallel. I mean, you are. Here's what happened. Let me hip you to this.
Yeah, but normally when you turn to this, you're gonna go and do an accent. That's the problem. You don't go back to the initial position.
So you have familiarity. Raph, hang with me. You have familiarity with the idea of making an upstroke, right? And we're just turning from parallel, and we're going up, and then we make our throw, right? We have that. Now I'm asking you to turn from parallel, but not go up.
Yeah,
and, and you know what you're doing? You're going like this. And that's not what it is. I'm just, see, this isn't going up. If anything, it's so tiny. There might be some tiny counterbalance. Because I'm not adding enough force.
But it still goes up. So that going up slightly is what causes the stroke, right? Is not, or not?
I don't even, see, here's the gig. I don't even know. I don't know what this is. I know what to feel, see? I know that what I'm not doing is I'm not making an upstroke. I'm just turning my wrist. Now, at a certain point, once it feels right, I can look down and see what's happening. Shouldn't be the other way around. Okay, so go ahead and try that again. See if you can play from parallel. Yeah, that was a good one on the right. You don't need to go up. Ah, interesting. Huh? You got to hold the stick. Don't point your first finger in the left. Firm, comfortable, constant. It shouldn't be. There you go. That's right. Flat of the thumb. Crack of the first knuckle of the first finger. There you go. Better. Up. You don't have to go lifting or do anything. It's just a tiny turn. Here, let me hip you to something else. Okay. This is a Richard Martinez thing, actually, because he makes the distinction between turning from parallel and the muscles involved, and then beginning to turn to the ceiling, and the muscles involved with the process of actually turning up first. So, what do you notice? What are the muscles that are employed to move the stick from parallel to the surface?
The wrist, obviously.
What muscles control the wrist? Or really the hand, the wrist is a fulcrum, but what muscles are you using?
Okay, this one's here. Or not.
We talked about that there are muscles it's the muscles that are in front of the elbow, right?
Yep.
Now remember, I've mentioned to you that muscles only pull.
You did. Yeah.
Okay, so what muscles are pulling when you turn from parallel?
This one's here.
Right here, huh? They pull?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and we don't want any of this. We don't want to leverage. We're not making an upstroke. Okay, there you go. Feel them pulling? Do that in your other hand. Just hold the stick. Turn from parallel, and the muscles will pull. Okay, so you got the idea. So your left is working okay. Okay, now back to the right. Now what I want you to do is turn towards the ceiling just 1 inch.
With my wrist or?
Oh, yeah, we're turning 1 inch high now, first. No. I don't want an upstroke. I just want you to turn 1 inch.
Okay.
Make a note. I'm asking for a note. Now what muscles are pulling?
It's very different, yeah, that's for sure. Feels more like this area over here.
Right? And then to go in the other direction, which muscles are pulling?
The same, right here.
What now?
Well, here again, because going down.
Right. Right. So if we're just turning from parallel, we're just thinking about the muscles pulling that are underneath in front of the elbow. Once we start turning towards the ceiling, now we've engaged another set of muscles.
Gotcha.
Now, do you need to know this? Because you were doing it without knowing it, really. Now I've reinforced the action with the intellect. Okay, metronome on at 40, quarter note triplets.
So pianissimo, right?
We're going to start with this pulling towards the pad from parallel. Can you count out loud so I know you're in time?
1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 1 and 2.
Here, 1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and
Parallel.
3 and
Don't give me this.
3.
Making an upstroke, and you're right. You're making it up. You're making an upstroke. You're beginning to. You're leveraging. Just turn from there. It'll stay essentially flat. Yeah, there's hardly any force. Just for me, Raf, in your left. Don't change your first finger, and just gently turn and touch the surface. No, gently turn in slow motion. That's all it is. There's none of this. There's none of this. Well, that's all. You're only traveling a tiny little bit. That's all you're doing. That's it. There's nothing really to feel. There it is. That's it. I think you do that while you're counting and playing. And you're supposed to be turning your feet in perfect prime with the metronome, according to Dick.
1 and 2 and
There's a little distance that you just felt. A tiny little thing. Okay, now start to turn towards the ceiling. No, just an inch. See, we want to be able to go up smoothly. Maybe even a half an inch. There you go. See? There's a relationship. Nothing's changed. See, the grip is the same. Essentially, It's laying in the hand. You're just holding the stick. Now you can come up 2 inches. Now there's going to be more pulling on the way up, isn't there? Feels different now. That feels different. Grip is the same. Keep coming up. Losing the floor. Good to the floor. Come up a little bit more. Lose the floor. Muscles are really pulling, then they pull back the other way. Okay, good, good. Go ahead and just for now. Okay, well then let's move it up now to eighth notes. No.
What? Okay, what height? Come on.
I'm creating a new chart for you so that you explore the dynamic range and to teach you about the muscles pulling and to improve your left wrist turn that you can play. Now you're leveraging a little. Don't leverage. There it is. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and come on up. Keep coming up. It's good. Come on up. Lose your floor. Don't lose your floor in the right. You just did. Come on up more. Turn your left and your right. They're the same. Okay? They're the same. Okay. Now let's go to eighth note triplets.
Oh, sorry.
So lift in the left. We're just turning from parallel. Two and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Come on, turn higher and higher. Don't leverage in the left. Just lift it up. Don't do anything weird with that index finger in your left. Index finger is just a little wonky. Don't lose your floor. Up a little higher. Come on back down. Come on back down. No, I meant come back down from. Retrograde, right? Come on down. Deep crescendo. Come on back down. Don't lose your floor. On down. You're just going to be turning from parallel. Okay, good. Now let's put the metronome up to put it up to 16ths.
It's tough to do these ones because the tendency is always to do the upstroke, man. That's just kind of how the muscle memory is built now. So to just do the stroke without the upstroke makes stuff. Yeah. What's the speed?
Okay, so now we're staying, speed stays the same,
Yeah.
but we're moving to the next modulation, right? Which is 16th notes. Good, man. There you go. Maintain a grip in your left index finger. That's all. There you go. Come on up a little higher. Yeah. Come on down. Your floor. Just from parallel. Okay, now go ahead and move, play groups of 5.
Three, four, five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, no lifting. Remember, slow. Come on down. You can get quieter. You can actually get quieter. There you go. Okay, now play groups of 6. Come on up. Turn to the left. Turn left. I stay at the ground just a little longer. And on down. On down. Don't lose the force. Okay, and 7. Okay, you got the idea. Okay, so that's better. So we've just increased your dynamic range considerably.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really weren't playing pianissimo, like ever. Unless you can turn from parallel, how can you play pianissimo? Okay, so that was really good. So we're gonna continue in that direction, and then perhaps what we'll do. So I want to keep moving here. What we'll do is we'll increase the speed. Okay, so now you've incorporated this new concept really for you of the muscles pulling from underneath as you turn parallel.
Yeah.
And the muscles begin to pull to turn the wrist to the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
And that distinction is very important to recognize. First, you know, Buddy Rich probably didn't even know. But didn't even matter to him.
Just felt it, I guess. Yeah.
Everybody. But some of us need to know because we weren't born with golden drumsticks in our hand. Okay?
Exactly.
All right, so that's what's happening. Now, if we were to, we were looking at Ratamacues, right? And I had you playing because the Ratamacue incorporates a rough or a drag. I had you going back and forth playing alternating roughs, right? Okay, so let's start with that. And then when you're ready, we'll go into Ratamacues. What speed did you work on this?
Well, you asked me to do 48.
Okay, you did, okay. Then let's put it on at 48.
Cool.
That'll work.
Yeah, and then addition to the Ratamacue.
Okay, go into the Ratamacue. Okay, now you can see that there is continuity with regards to what I just showed you. This idea of just turning from parallel, right? Now we know that we can turn from parallel and not go up. We can just turn from parallel. Or we can go up. We can actually go up. See? Really the discipline. Or we can play two notes going up. That's why I was going. Get the speed up. Okay. So can you play the alternating rough that quickly? Twice the speed. Go ahead and play, just for fun. Because at that point, see, now we're really using the upstroke. Any, any faster?
Yeah, I think so.
If you would leave the metronome, say ra 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 ra. Ra da ra da da ra.
What speed then?
If you're at 48, let's see. Ra 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 ra. 16th notes at 48.
All right, 16. Ouch. Too fast for me.
That's not bad though. See?
That's
It's coming along, but right? Okay, so let's go back to 8th notes. Ah, 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 ah. I'm really, I'm just turning from parallel. I'm not turning to the ceiling first. You're right, it's not stopping down. This is really your top speed.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not. I disagree.
Stopping down. That's how you're honest with yourself. You were able to get it twice as fast. Right? You have to have the entire trip. Right? Keep going. Okay, look what the right is doing. When you watch this back, wherever we are in terms of the time demarcation, you'll see that you're going like this. And that's not even much exaggerated. Right? That's not a downstroke. As you get it going, it seems to go. Right? And that'll hinder your speed. That's why you find it hard to get it up to 16th notes. But what we're really looking for where I stop. See where I stop? My floor is even closer to the surface than yours. I'm just keeping it real close. You don't have to. You just have to decide. Okay. So show me a downstroke and you're right. Okay. Go on, do it again. Right, so you get that little hanging. You get that little hanging feeling. Right. It hangs. That hanging feeling, and then we reverse it. Yeah. So it feels like as my forearm is going down, the beat is coming up. I get that feeling, and then at the very last minute, they catch up with one another. Not bad. That's not what you're not doing that when you play the stroke.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you start speeding up, then there's less time to be on the floor, I guess, right?
Oh, you always come back to the floor. I just played it for you. So, right, it's about to get that other speed really cleanly. It has to be right at the slow speed. There you go. We're the right way. And it just turns, it goes up and it does that, right? Don't freak out.
I'm not freaking out.
Where are you going to stop in the right? Be the same every time. There it is. Different. Decide where you're going to stop in the right on your downstroke. Sure, slow it down a little. Oh, yeah, you lifted. I just want you to turn from parallel. Now you're making it up. So it's different than what we did before. There it is. Stops down, goes up. It's all it's doing over and over. Over and over and over. It just does. Ah, 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 just over and over. Okay. So now that's better. You got to maintain that. So we're 48, and you're playing eighth notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're going to go into a double Ratamacue. Right. Start the eighth note. Trags. No, starting with the eighth note trags, and then we're going into the Ratamacue, a double Ratamacue.
Ah, okay.
Right. Your Ratamacue is really pretty good. You have to maintain better focus because on your alternating roughs or drags or three-stroke roll, you have a tendency. I think part of what's happening is you, because as it develops speed, you're doing you want to lift up for the rough, for the appoggiatura, right? You want to.
True, it's true. I know that.
Right. The discipline of just playing from here.
It's tough, but
watch. So what happens is because you want to turn for your appoggiatura, what happens is you go like this, and it looks like this. And mine doesn't. Mine goes. See, mine's going to stop here every time. Or you can't turn from parallel. See, if you don't stop here, you can't turn from parallel. See, look at the discipline. Look how flat this is. Look how flat it is. It's not here.
It's tough to do the doubles when you have such little space, I guess.
Little talk. That's why it has to be like a fine Swiss watch. It's a definite upgrade from a Timex.
Stuff just to get them consistent, I guess. That's the problem. Obviously, if you lift it up, that gives it more space for the doubles, makes it easier than just do it like this. That's the problem, also, right? Well,
it's really harkens back to what you were saying at the beginning of the lesson, whereas it's not just one thing. It's not just the grip. It's you've got to have everything, right? And so I'm asking you. I'm helping you to realize that if you don't stop low, if you don't actually stop low, you will not be able to turn from parallel. You'll be up here somewhere. That's not turning from parallel. So it's really, see, you want to keep doing that, Raf. You want to keep doing that. That's not really your problem. The problem is making a downstroke and stopping real low so you can do that.
I don't think it is. Well, it's a combination, I guess. I feel it's a combination. It's not just that.
There you go. Nope, you lifted. Nope, you lifted. Nope, you just have to turn, you have to stop real low, stop real, even lower, and then bend forward. Nope, you're lifting the tiniest, there it was. Come on, there it is. It's that, you're gonna lose so much speed. Stop really low. There, and bend forward from there. That's it. Okay?
It's
Yeah.
also, yeah, and the other thing I noticed also in the stuff, and the other part that I do struggle, if I'm just doing like this in isolation, it's easy because I can just focus on this. If I have to do it as part of this, it's harder because I need to coordinate for it to sound linear, right? Da 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 da, and there's another thing to think on. So then it's harder to just focus on this. You get the point, right?
The strokes teach us. That's what this is about. Now, are we learning the 7 basic strokes so we can play said strokes? Or are said strokes teaching us how to play the 7 basic strokes? Or does it even matter? Okay,
Yeah.
so,
Probably doesn't.
okay, you're at 48, and the gig is that I'm asking you to do things that you're a little bit unfamiliar with, right? This is kind of new for you. The discipline of just turning from, and you'll notice, muscles are pulling, aren't they? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel these muscles doing that. See, it's all going to connect. It'll become this seamless, harmonic connection. That's it. See them pulling? Feel them pull? Right? And now make a throw. Right? These pull. Yeah, now you're nice and low and flat when you land. Don't let it bounce around when you land. There, it has to stop right there so you can bend forward. Don't lift after you land. Bend. Really focus on stopping flat and bending. Okay? Now go ahead and play, because now we're going to take that into, right? We're going to go,
Yeah.
There it is. See, I'm looking for all those nuances in my own playing, right? Until I can really lock it in and feel it. And it's like, there it is, right? Okay, go ahead and do it.
So triple now, yeah?
You can start with the alternating drags. Or the 3-stroke roll. And stopping low. There it is. See? It's a discipline. There, better. Throw, stopping nice and flat. Okay. Good. Good. Going to continue with this. I think you were playing quarter note alternating drags, right? That's your practice regime?
Yeah, you're right.
Now we've doubled the speed. Okay? That's good. And perhaps we might even push it up to maybe 52.
Yeah.
I want to keep moving. So what we're doing there is we're playing, let's see. Because we're into wrists right now. What did you get the wrists up to on doubles and low strokes?
Can't remember, 80 maybe, I think. Let me check.
three-stroke roll. Now we're on the wrist. We're on the wrist. Okay, go the other way. Your left finger. Okay, we got this. So just go ahead and play a 7-stroke roll for me. I'm keeping it down. Keeping it in the same kind of world we were in for the alternating drag or the 3-stroke roll. Because now we don't really need to turn that high. See? Okay. Twice as fast. Now I'm rebounding. Over and over and over forever. That's where this is going. But you'll never get that if you don't stop the beat down, which you were doing, right? At 48, you can do it. And I dare say you probably, once you focus on it, once that becomes your locus, you will be able to get the alternating drag or the 3-stroke roll at 48 up to 16th notes, right? But the idea of stopping down, so all you have to do is go down and then forward. You won't get that if you don't have the discipline to make a downstroke that stops flat. Okay, so one more time, going the other way, 7-stroke roll. In this case, there is a little turn because we're not at that speed. Okay, but that's the right direction, you see, because if you do stop flat, you will be able to, if you so desire, turn from parallel. If you don't stop flat, you'll never be able to turn from parallel. Using that concept that I introduced at the beginning of the lesson, where you were just turning and not making an upstroke, with the muscles in front of the elbow that just pull, you'll never be able to do that because you'll always be stopping somewhere here, not here, not here, not here. Okay, this is all it looks like. See how flat that is? So that you can play from here. One more time. Other way. Really good. See, here's the right stopping flat. Both ways. Good. You beat me to it. Okay. All right. Notice your two little turns in the hand that's not making the accent. Da 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 da. See, they always stop down. You weren't having a problem. A lot of guys do. They want to go. They'll go da 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 da, and they'll wait up here. See, everything stops down. We're always moving around the central point, right? We're always moving around this. We're always moving around this. If we stop here, now we're moving around this. The whole thing's done. It isn't going to work. Now it's another technique. Gotta stop low. Good, man. Cool. I might boost that speed up, maybe get you up to about 92.
I'm dreading your email.
All right. Well, I'll look forward to your development over the next period, and I'm enjoying watching it come along. Good job.
Kevin.
You're welcome.